What would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning, just for 60 seconds? For a brief moment, imagine the impossible. The world's relentless rotation coming to a standstill, as if the universe pressed pause on our planet's motion. It sounds like pure science fiction, a disaster movie scenario too wild to believe. Yet, when we explore this thought experiment, it uncovers the breathtaking and often invisible forces that shape every second of life on Earth. The answers are far more explosive, more awe-inspiring, and more terrifying than you might expect. So take a deep breath and prepare to journey into a scenario where the ordinary laws of nature are thrown into chaos. Our story begins with a simple, yet extraordinary fact. The Earth spins at an astonishing speed. At the equator, the ground beneath your feet races eastward at about 1,770 kilometers per hour. That's over 1,000 miles per hour. This motion is so smooth, so constant, that it goes unnoticed in our daily lives. Yet it's the very reason we have day and night. As the planet turns, sunlight sweeps across its surface, creating the cycle of sunrise and sunset that dictates the rhythm of life for every creature on Earth. But the effects of our planet's spin go much deeper. This rotation shapes the oceans, sculpting them into a slightly flattened sphere. It influences the weather, driving wind patterns and ocean currents that regulate temperature and distribute nutrients. Without this spinning, the very fabric of our world would unravel. It is a dance of gravity, inertia, and motion, choreographed over billions of years. Now let's imagine the unthinkable. In a single heartbeat, the Earth's rotation stops, dead still. For 1 minute, the planet becomes utterly motionless. In that first instant, every object not anchored to the bedrock, every car, every building, every tree, every living thing keeps moving at the same speed the ground was just moments before. Suddenly, the world's surface is launched eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. The consequences are catastrophic. Picture cities transformed into scenes of unimaginable chaos. Buildings shear off their foundations, flung sideways as if by an invisible giant. Trees are uprooted and hurled through the air. Cars, trains, and airplanes veer off course, some even launched into the sky, tumbling end over end. And then, the oceans. Billions of tons of water surge forward, their momentum carrying them inland in colossal walls. Coastlines vanish beneath the onslaught, as water seeks equilibrium in a world now stripped of its centrifugal balance. But this is only the beginning. The atmosphere, too, keeps moving. While the ground has come to a halt, the air above continues its relentless journey eastward. In the span of 60 seconds, hurricane-force winds, faster than any storm on record, tear across the land. Skyscrapers are shredded, rooftops ripped away, debris turned into deadly projectiles. Planes in flight are tossed like leaves in a gale, their carefully charted courses thrown into disarray. Meanwhile, the oceans respond to the shock in their own way. Without the stabilizing force of rotation, water migrates toward the poles, drawn by gravity. The familiar bulge at the equator diminishes, unleashing floods across previously safe regions. Coastal cities from Miami to Mumbai are inundated, their streets transformed into rivers. And as the world reels from these physical convulsions, the invisible systems that support modern life begin to falter. Deep beneath our feet, the Earth's core is in motion. This churning metal generates the magnetic field that shields us from harmful cosmic radiation. The field is not just a scientific curiosity, it is a vital barrier, protecting our atmosphere and every living cell from the solar wind. A sudden halt in the planet's spin would create ripples through this delicate system. The magnetic field would not collapse instantly, but its stability would be threatened. Charged particles from the sun could begin to slip through, igniting auroras in places that have never seen them before, and perhaps even damaging critical infrastructure. For a brief moment, the planet's shield flickers and pulses, leaving us exposed to the raw power of the cosmos. Above the chaos, satellites orbit in precise, predictable paths that depend on the movement of the Earth below. When the ground stops, their reference points shift. Some satellites drift off course, their orbits destabilized. Communications are interrupted. GPS signals stutter and fail. Across the globe, Cell phones display no service. Air traffic controllers lose contact with planes. The internet, a web of connections spun around the world, begins to unravel, plunging millions into digital darkness. And then there is gravity itself. At the equator, the centrifugal force of the spinning Earth slightly counteracts the pull of gravity. When the spin stops, that force vanishes. Suddenly, gravity feels stronger, pressing people and objects more firmly to the ground. Scales tip higher, as if the world gained weight in an instant. For those living at or near the equator, the change is subtle but undeniable. A heaviness that settles over everything. The passage of time, too, is thrown into confusion. Our days are measured by the movement of the Earth, by the ceaseless turning that brings the sun into view and then hides it again. Clocks, whether ancient sundials or the most advanced atomic devices, depend on this rhythm. When the planet stops, even time itself seems to stutter. Clocks desynchronize, atomic clocks flash error messages, and humans everywhere are left disoriented, untethered from the familiar cadence of day and night. 60 seconds pass. The world, battered and bruised, resumes its spin. But the damage lingers. Fires rage in cities where gas lines ruptured and electrical systems failed. Floods persist along the coasts as displaced oceans seek new homes. The climate, already a complex web of interacting forces, is thrown into further turmoil. Ocean currents shift, wind patterns are disrupted, and weather becomes unpredictable, a world of storms, droughts, and confusion. The natural world, too, is left reeling. Animals that rely on the subtle cues of the sun's movement and the Earth's magnetic field wander in confusion. Migratory birds lose their way. Sea turtles, emerging from the surf, find the beaches transformed or gone entirely. Entire ecosystems are thrown into chaos, struggling to adapt to a reality forever altered by a single minute of stillness. The scars of this event linger for generations. Cities are rebuilt, but memories of the chaos remain. Scientists study the aftermath, piecing together the complex chain of events that unfolded in those 60 seconds. New technologies emerge to guard against future disasters, but the lesson is clear. The balance of our planet is more fragile, more precious than we ever realized. In the end, could the Earth ever truly stop spinning? The answer, thankfully, is no. The forces required to halt a planet are beyond anything nature or humanity can muster. The laws of physics are on our side, keeping Earth in motion for billions of years to come. But this thought experiment serves as a stark reminder of just how delicately balanced our world truly is. The next time you watch the sunset, think of the incredible forces at play. The ground beneath your feet racing through space, the air swirling above, the oceans held in place by ancient momentum. Remember, it's not the sun that moves across the sky. It's us, spinning on this fragile, beautiful, and astonishingly dynamic planet. And in that knowledge, perhaps you'll find a new appreciation for the ordinary miracles that make life on Earth possible. So as the world spins on and the stars wheel overhead, let this story remind you, the balance of our planet is not to be taken for granted. For in just 60 seconds, everything we know, every city, every coastline, every heartbeat could be forever changed. But as long as Earth keeps turning, we remain part of a cosmic dance, fragile and resilient, spinning through the endless night.